A Massachusetts woman who's serving time for the death of her newborn baby in Aroostook County nearly 40 years ago has had her sentence upheld by the Maine Supreme Judicial Court. Last week, Leanne Daigle appealed her sentence before the High Court. The defense claimed the lower court did not abide by sentencing guidelines from 1985 and did not give Daigle adequate due process in the way she was questioned during the sentencing process. Last year, a judge ordered Daigle to serve 6 years in prison after she pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Baby Jane Doe was found dead in Frenchville in December 1985. Investigators said the baby was born and then abandoned in sub-zero temperatures in a gravel pit. Officials say advancements in DNA and genetic genealogy technology helped detectives crack the case.